Tzu Chi volunteers in South Africa hold a large-scale winter aid distribution for poor families in Primrose. And we see how 5-year-old Tang of Malaysia convinced his family to become vegetarians. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Lee-Shioda. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in South Africa, where Tzu Chi volunteers recently held a second large-scale winter aid distribution in Johannesburg for 2,210 poor families from Primrose. Helping to spread Tzu Chi's love of Tzu Chi from the area reminded these recipients that Tzu Chi will always be there to help them through the difficult times.
These individuals are the young force behind Tzu Chi South Africa branch.
Our time, our love, and our smiling, our happiness. Okay?
This is the 13th annual winter distribution that Tzu Chi has held in Primrose. The 2 bags of white rice and 1 bag of winter clothing for each family represent the volunteers' love. This shanty town has a population of 40,000 people, but some children here love to study. Celinda's Gohod Sana, a local Tzu Chi, is one of them.
The problem we often see here is when someone is sick or needs help, they choose to remain silent and not tell us because they're afraid of seeking help. They feel those who help them will turn away someday, and it is wrong to tell others of your personal needs. But I want to tell you that as long as you want it, we Tzu Chi will help you.
The young girl is representing Tzu Chi, delivering a message in her speech that nobody should be forgotten because of his or her skin color, financial condition, or level of education.
We can expect no disaster in the world. Would you like to join? Yes. Would you like to join?
Yes. Tzu Chi tries to make the world a better place with love and energy, starting from South Africa.
Also about helping the poor, Singaporean team at Dr. Ho Yu Chen has participated in many free medical clinics in the Philippines over the past 2 years. There, he found that many people are hearing impaired, yet cannot afford hearing aids. As a physician, he felt helpless, thus he called on his colleagues to help. When one international company heard of the news, they donated 200 hearing aids and also sent a technician to outfit patients with these devices. In the end, this gesture helped 18-year-old Rena Falcon, who has been deaf since the age of 7, to hear once again.
Wearing this hearing aid, 18-year-old Rena Falcon no longer feels like an invisible person.
When she was 7, she lost her hearing and became reclusive. Especially in school, she was always ridiculed by classmates, as she would rather stay at home. Before being deaf, everything was like a dream, and later she felt like she lost everything.
I'm very grateful to Tzu Chi's help. Now I can go back to school and study well because I have this hearing aid.
He can go to the pharmacy and buy.
Ho Yu Chen is an ENT specialist from Singapore. Over the past 2 years, he has been participating in Tzu Chi's free clinic in Tacloban. He treats those with hearing impairments and has also invited colleagues and friends to provide more assistance to them.
So for the vast majority of patients with hearing problems, the solution for them is hearing aids.
An international hearing healthcare company donated 200 sets of hearing aids and also sent a professional technician to help outfit these hearing aids.
So in the long term, actually, wearing the hearing aid will help them to be able to integrate better in the society, to be more independent.
According to each patient's condition, a hearing aid can be used for anywhere between 5 to 10 years. For many of these fortunate patients, the first sounds they heard are that of love and gratitude.
Across the globe, and especially in impoverished countries like Indonesia, Tzu Chi's medical free clinics help the poor get the treatment they need. Recently, Tzu Chi Batam Liaison Office held a free clinic involving 38 medical specialists to help treat over 500 patients.
Tanjung Batu village in Batam does not have a major hospital, So when the locals know that medical specialists will be available at a free clinic, they all come to sign up.
There's only general practitioners here as they totally lack specialists. The locals will get help through this free clinic as it will offer specialists.
38 medical volunteers from Timor, Indonesia, include specialists in the fields of internal medicine, ophthalmology, neurology, and pediatrics. Shuhadi, who had been having eye problems, was finally able to find some help.
The examination and treatment was quite fast. Now my eyesight has improved and I don't feel any discomfort.
We need this free clinic, especially the residents who are very poor. I hope we can have a similar event in the future.
Over 500 patients came to the free clinic on this day. It shows that medical care is indeed needed on this remote island.
Switching our attention to Tzu Chi celebrations in Taiwan, over the last 30 years, through its medical services, Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital has saved countless lives in the Hualien and Taitung region. The heartwarming health care provided by the medical staff, as well as the loving companionship of the Tzu Chi volunteers, have made this hospital a friendly and trustworthy medical facility. Nurses reenact the events of what happened to Mr. Lin's 3-year-old son after he drowned. Arriving at the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital, the son was suffering from acute respiratory distress syndrome. Thanks to the quick response of the pediatrics department, the boy survived.
Standing here, I am very grateful for the hospital's medical staff's assistance. Without them, my child wouldn't be here today, so lively and spirited.
Another former patient who has come to express his gratitude is Chen Jingyuan, who suffered a heart attack. It was after the medical staff's 24-hour rescue effort that he could subsequently represent Taiwan in an international paragliding competition in Indonesia.
I'm very grateful to the medical staff, especially Dr. Chen, for his efforts in saving me. I didn't know how hard he worked to save me until my family told me. Thank you.
Thinking back to Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital's trailblazing efforts over the past 30 years, there is also a group of dedicated Tzu Chi volunteers giving selflessly that deserves everyone's thanks. They ensure that every day plenty of love and blessings fill the hospital.
一个医院呢，假如不是有大家这样的爱的能量，愿意呢来到东部，守护在这个地方，不知道这30年间呐，多少生命呢，就这样的消歇过去。这都是每一个人的心血，每一个人的爱心，点点滴滴的爱心呢，在30多年前这样的累积过来，我感恩。
Tzu Chi's medical mission began in Hualien and now it has spread to other corners of the world. What has not changed is the initial aspiration to save and protect all those in need. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital. Over the weekend, a celebration was held at the Hualien Jingsi Hall. The hospital also honored those who served at the hospital for over the past 10, 20, as well as 30 years, in hopes that everyone will continue to safeguard the health of local residents.
我们要为大家介绍的这9位员工，他们是从花莲慈济院起业，就一直陪伴我们到现在。
At the 30th anniversary celebration of Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital, thousands of medical staff, administrative colleagues, and also Tzu Chi volunteers have gathered to join in the celebration.
我们就是要对
We will face patients and their ailments with more care. We will continue to provide quality medical care to the best of our ability.
提升是无止无尽的，好还要更好。
When the hospital was opened in 1986, it had a difficult time recruiting medical staff. Thankfully, Chen Yinghe, a specialist in orthopedics, came to serve in Hualien. He has been serving there for the past 30 years.
慈济医院会我
Tzu Chi Hospital has benefited me greatly. It gave me, as a clinical doctor, the research platform I needed to fulfill my dream of being a biomedical scientist.
From a regional hospital, Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital grew to become a medical center in eastern Taiwan. With continuing advances in medical services and top-notch technology, the hospital strives to provide the greatest care possible for local residents.
这30年来，为花莲救助了
In the past 30 years, the hospital has saved countless lives and performed numerous miracles. It has served to protect and safeguard the health of our community residents.
所有父老乡亲的健康，提供了最大的守护跟疼惜。
Always remembering their initial aspiration of being a medical professional, these doctors and nurses of Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital continue to strive towards a better tomorrow. Many people may not be aware of the serious costs and resources that comes with livestock farming. We'll take a look at the industry in Taiwan and see just how much land space and water are required, as well as the large amount of wastewater pollution and methane emissions that contribute to global warming. All of this subsequently highlights the importance of encouraging vegetarianism.
Scientists warning unless we take drastic measures to correct our environmental footprint, our time on this planet may be limited to only 50 more years. I wanted to do everything I could to help. I became an OCE, Obsessive Compulsive Environmentalist. I separated the trash and recycling. I composted, changed all the light bulbs, took short showers, turned the water off when I brushed my teeth, turned off lights when leaving a room, and rode my bike instead of driving everywhere. But as the years went by, it seemed as if things were getting worse.
A look at greenhouse gas emissions globally reveals that food manufacturing accounts for 45%, while petrochemical industries account for 26%. Transportation is 13%, and livestock farming is 39%, according to a 2013 UN Food and Agricultural Organization report.
Calculating Taiwan's livestock industry, it probably accounts for about 1/3 of total agricultural output. There are roughly 5.5 million pigs, 110,000 dairy cattle, and probably around 40 or 50 million chickens.
At first glance, you might think these fields are growing crops for humans, but these fields are used entirely for growing livestock feed.
These contract farm plots don't grow rice, it's for the livestock, which is a hard corn. This is not for humans to eat.
From the 1980s through the 1990s, Taiwan's cultivation of corn covered 80,000 hectares. Now, domestic corn production is only from 18,000 hectares, with 1/3 of that devoted to livestock feed.
There are probably over 5 million pigs throughout Taiwan, and we are not producing the necessary amount of feed, so we have to import to make it up.
We are growing so much feed and crops that they will go to other uses. Crops that will be consumed by people have to be grown in completely different areas. Otherwise, it could be mixed together and cause confusion.
Global livestock consumption consists of 74% of soybeans and 36% of cereals, which would be enough to feed 2 billion people, according to a 2010 UN report of Sustainable Management Resources. In Taiwan, livestock waste is the second largest source of water pollution after industrial waste.
Here in Pingdong, we have over 1,600 pig farmers and over 1.3 million pigs. A lot of the pig farmers who are raising less than 200 pigs are exempt from the regulations about managing wastewater.
Each pig accounts for 30 liters of wastewater per day. Taiwan's pig farms produce 87.6 million liters of wastewater yearly, an amount equal to half the capacity of the Shimen Reservoir. One pig's waste emissions are 6 to 7 times that of a human. One cow's emissions is more than 20 people's. The waste from one chicken is more than a single person's.
With so many pigs and such high waste emissions, there's considerable amount of methane going directly into the atmosphere. This is air pollution and has 25 or 26 times the warming impact than that of carbon dioxide.
People invest a huge amount of resources just to put meat on the table for consumers. We should consider how these massive expenditures of resources and the serious amount of waste emissions and greenhouse gases that come with the livestock industry is affecting the planet. Surely, devoting more attention to promoting vegetarianism and farming crops for human consumption is a smarter decision.
Next in Malaysia, we'll meet a young vegetarian, Tang How, who is 5 years old. He is very committed to eating a vegetarian diet to help the earth. Thanks to his personal vow, his family of 6 has also decided to support him and eat vegetarian meals together.
我们一天吃素。为什么你要吃素？地球生病要去救地球。
He's very serious about this vegetarian land passport, and at every meal he will ask to make sure the food is vegetarian and say he doesn't want meat. He's always checking.
Tang How is careful. At the age of 5, he is sometimes forgetful. After accidentally eating meat, he was filled with remorse.
I accidentally ate meat. I wish I could go back and do better. But I will still continue doing my best to eat vegetarian.
我还要继续加油。
To help him keep his vows, Song Hao's family accompany him by eating a vegetarian diet. Originally, his grandmother was worried they wouldn't get enough nutrients, so she was always thinking of ways to ensure a healthy diet for her grandson.
I went to a health examination and lecture, and the doctors there told me what he could eat. They said lots of beans and okra. Okra's very good, they said.
I think eating vegetarian is really healthy. And also, since we are Buddhist, we know we should avoid eating meat when we can.
Song Hao is already accustomed to eating vegetarian at a young age. He hopes his actions will contribute to caring for Mother Earth.
Meanwhile, in the Philippines, a campaign to promote vegetarianism for 21 workdays has been enthusiastically supported by local businesses. Now more than 1,000 meals are being served each day. Even restaurant staff has been ordering these vegetarian meals from Tzu Chi. To prepare for so many meatless dishes each day, volunteers work overnight at the Jingsi Hall in Manila. One Canadian by the name of Danny was also moved to help.
At noon, this vegetarian lunch is being provided by the owner of this company, and the reaction of employees is very positive.
Delicious.
It is tasty, and I don't think it is inferior to meat dishes at all. Also, it's healthy.
It's healthy.
I was surprised when I ate a vegetarian meatball. If you didn't tell me there was no meat, I wouldn't know that it didn't contain any meat.
These delicious vegetarian meals surprise many people in terms of taste. During the 7th lunar month, many workers are being treated to vegetarian meals during all 21 working days. They find that such a diet is not hard to maintain and actually have more energy in the afternoon.
This lunchbox actually helps us work because it's quite healthy, and it allows us to have a great spirit and strength to work in the afternoon.
In response to the vegetarian promotion organized by the Tzu Chi Philippines chapter, a number of businesses have lent their support, with daily orders topping 1,000 meals. This means volunteers need to get started earlier in the day, with some working overnight at Jingsi Hall.
They really exert a lot of effort for this event. So they stayed overnight until weekend they go home. And then I think Sunday afternoon they have to come back for preparation for the Monday food.
Danny Lazar from Canada is Tzu Chi volunteer Yang Jiali's son-in-law. He has been enthusiastic about doing public service, and when he heard about this Tzu Chi activity, he wholeheartedly invested himself in the preparation of these lunch boxes, all the way from making them to delivering them.
I haven't seen any other benevolent organization do work like this. Just the sheer size and the sheer logistical support they have is pretty incredible.
Zealous volunteers are putting their heart and soul into preparing these absolutely delicious vegetarian meals over the 7th lunar month.
Lai Yongzhen suffers from heart disease and yet is the sole caregiver for his 34-year-old son, who suffers from cerebral palsy and has been fully dependent on his father. In 2010, when Tzu Chi was promoting spreading good thoughts in their neighborhood, they happened to meet the father and son pair. Since then, local Tzu Chi volunteers have accompanied the two and brought much happiness and joy into their lives. To reciprocate Tzu Chi's kindness, the father and son also contribute to the planet by helping at the recycling station.
This father patiently accompanied his son for the past 30 years.
At birth, doctors said his condition wasn't good as his whole body turned black. I said try to save him. He then stayed in the intensive care unit, but his body was limp. I took him to acupuncture and it was quite painful. Each of his screams penetrated deep in my heart.
Carefully guarding his son's every step is Mr. Lai, who has to undertake this bittersweet lifetime of burden of caring for his son.
When my son was 4 or 5 years old, I got divorced with my wife, and now he's 34 years old. Everyone encounters difficulties in life. This is unavoidable. The journey of life can be a bumpy road, but this is my son. Tzu Chi's sisters frequently come to care for him, and I feel great gratitude in my heart.
Mr. Lai has accepted the challenges of his life and tries to be grateful and mindful.
Tzu Chi is truly caring and compassionate and has bestowed great love on us. When I give, I receive true happiness and joy. Honestly, it's also to accumulate merit for the delay of a heart attack.
I tell him you need to keep your heart medication on you at all times. I remind him that we are all one family, so now he has come to accept us as one big family.
At this Tzu Chi recycling station, this father and son team is doing their best to contribute and pledge to overcome any challenges that they might encounter. This father truly understands that despite their hardships, they are never alone.
In cooperation of the Happy Campus program in Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers from Malacca give out brand new uniforms and shoes to 69 poor students from 3 elementary schools. With these new gifts in hand, the children can look forward to going to school proudly wearing their new school uniform. We will leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for watching. See you next time.